Good morning, my lovely nines. Right, buddies, here we go again. You are all at home now, but that's okay. I've got a really good lesson for you today. I think that you're gonna like it. It's largely just practice. We're gonna keep doing enlargements. Just really briefly last time, we talked about doing a regular enlargement, like by scale factor 2 or 3 or whatever, around a point. So it had a center of enlargement, and you pretty much blew stuff up around a single point. Now, today is going to be a little bit harder because we are going to do what's called fractional and negative scale factors together. We did negatives quickly. That is just when we reverse the direction. So if it was 2 to the right, it would have been 2 to the left. But fractional is kind of new. And I've got for you today this really good activity. I think my video is going to be kind of short. I hope anyway. Because I want to give you guys just a ton of time to work on this. It's very tricky though, so just go slow. Make sure you get the answers right. So spend all of the class time just making sure you don't make a mistake. So the sheet I'm going to give you is this sheet here. So it's oh no, it's got the solutions. Oh dear. Yeah, but it's got your 2 pages right here on it. And yeah, just have a little bit of a work through. When you do the scale factor for all 5 of these things, they make a letter each, okay? So when you do the scale factor stuff, it makes a letter, and then it's going to be an unscramble by the time you get to the end, my buddies. So, yeah, here's what I'd say. If I were you, I'd pop onto the show my homework right now, and I would print this out ready to go. So I'd pause the video now until I have this on a piece of paper in front of me, and then follow along. I'll do the first couple with you, and then I'm going to set you off to do it all on your own. So pause to print your thing off right now. Make sure you've got this paper in front of you. Are you ready? Pause, go. Okay, and you're back. So now you've got it physically in front of you and you can work on it in the same way that I'm about to work on it. Cool. So to start with, have a little look. This box here is for this entire thing on the left. And I think I'm just going to maybe do 2 of them with you, so I'll try to pick the hardest ones. So let's do, oh yeah, there you go. I can see a hard one straight away. Let's do this one. Let's do shape D, because that's horrendous. Factor of -1/3. And then let's also do shape C, because that'll give you practice on a regular fraction one too. So yeah, let's do shape C together to start with. Okay, first things first, it says shape C by a scale factor of 1/3, center 3, 4. Now, one more step already is that you have to actually put the center in, okay? So if the center's at 3, 4, find that on the axes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there is your center for shape C, okay? So that's for C. Cool. Now that you've got that, we're going to do a scale factor of 1/3. Now, we've not done fractional before, but it won't be too much trouble. Remember how we do it, buddies? We find one spot on the shape in order to locate where our answer is going to be. So I pick this bottom right corner and I put a blue dot on it. Now, to get from C to the bottom right corner, it used to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left. Now, if we do a third as our scale factor, rather than going 6 to the left, we're going to take a third of the 6 to get 2. So we're just going to go 2 to the left. 1, 2. So that blue spot winds up there. Now, next color, if we were to grab, say, a green spot, we don't want to keep counting back to the C because that's kind of hard. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put the green dot here in the bottom left corner of C. And to go from blue to green, it used to be 3 spaces. But I'm going to do a third of 3, so 1 space. Can you see how I'm doing it, my buddies? Good. I bet you can almost predict what the rest of the shape's going to look like, but just for the sake of completeness, I'm going to keep talking. So to go from green to purple, it used to be 3 up. Take a third of that, well, it's going to be 1 up. And finally, with the other dot, you kind of don't have to do this one anymore. The black dot, it can kind of go in, right? Because it used to be 3 up, so now it is, yeah, going to be 1. Happy days. There is the blue part done. Okay, that is the blue shape. Cool. That's C all done. Now, that's the one I'm going to do with you. The next I'm going to do with you is going to also be the yellow highlighter. And this is where the real challenge sets in, okay, buddies? This is where it gets proper hard. Okay, first thing first, shape D, which is this trapezium-y thing that we've got going on here. And it says center 2, 0. So first step first is to put your center at 2, 0. So 1, 2 across and 0 up. That is the center for shape D. Cool? That's step 1. Now, step 2 is exactly the same, but I'm going to talk to you about it just to make sure we're cool. Find any spot you want, so I'm going to use that purple dot that's 3 spaces over from D, and what we're going to do is a scale factor of negative 1/3. Now, the 1/3 is going to make the shape smaller, so you're going to divide each distance by 3, or you're going to take 1/3 of each distance, however you like to think of it. But can you remember what the negative does? Well, yeah, it reverses the direction, right? So if you were to go 3 to the right, it would be 3 to the left if the scale factor was -1. If you were to go 2 up, it would be 2 down if the scale factor was -1. So a negative reverses the direction. So let's make sure we've got our head around it. To get from D to the purple point, it used to be 3 to the right. So we're going to third that, so it's going to be 1 instead of 3. And rather than 3 to the right, it's then going to be 1 to the left. Purple winds up there. Yeah? Because 3 to the right, well, first things first, it's going to be left because it's negative, and 3 divided by 3 is 1. So that's that. Happy days. Okay, let's get the next one. Let's put the blue dot down here. Now let's check it out. To get from purple to blue, it used to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Used to be 9 spaces down. So what that means is it's going to be 3 spaces up. Can you see why? Well, good, because instead of 9 down, it's going to be up, and instead of 9, it's going to be 3. So it's going to be 3 up. 1, 2, 3. So it winds up there. Cool, 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 cool. Next one, let's try it. Let's go for this one here, across from the purple, because it looks easy, or across from the blue, because it looks easy. To go from blue to green, it used to be 3 to the right, so it's going to be 1 to the left. Cool, cool, cool. And finally, the last one, what color haven't I used yet? Let's go light blue. Okay, light blue to get to this one. To go from green to blue, so starting at green, getting to blue, it used to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up. So instead of 6 up, it is going to be 2 down. 1, 2, and blue ends up there. So 2 things I did, I both reversed, and I did reverse, and I also divided it by 3, making this your final shape, just like this. Boom, 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 and that's where it winds up. So this is the yellow shape, and you've got it. Okie doke. 2 more to do. Okay, so when you do A and when you do B, once those 2 guys are done, then this is going to make a letter. Once you've got the letter, you're going to be ready to go for your rearrangement. Now, should I spoil it really quick for you? I'll tell you what the letter's supposed to be. The first one is going to be an S. Okay, so the first one's going to be an. Is it actually the first one? Yes, the first one's going to be an S, my buddies. So you'll know you're on track if you've got an S on that one. And that is that. So what I'd like you to do then for the whole rest of the period, finish this one, finish all the others. I know it's a bit of practice, this one. It won't be quick. I think it's going to probably take you half an hour or more, probably just a bit more than half an hour. But this one's going to count as your homework too. So I'll need this one submitted onto Google Classroom so that I can have a look by the time you're all finished. And yeah, once I see that you're all finished, once you've had well, I'll get it marked for you, and it counts as your homework. There, I got it out in the end. This counts as your homework too, so take your time on it. Make sure it's right. Don't rush it, because it'll take you way longer if you have to erase anything. So slow and steady. Make sure you get the right answer. Submit it on Google Classroom as a PDF, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next week, and I'm looking forward to seeing your work this week. So that's it from me. Bye, buddies. See you next time. Bye, buddies.